It's time for the Serial at Midnight Spotlight on Kino Lorber. This is everything coming out from Kino Lorber and their partner labels for the month of June 2023. Huge thanks to Kino Lorber. I don't know anybody else on YouTube that's covering releases like this. Complete monthly coverage. I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful to you for watching this coverage as well. We got a lot of ground to cover. Let's jump right into it. By the way, please subscribe so you never miss a video like this. All right, we're going to kick it off with... so I'm holding, these are the 4Ks. I'm holding these because Kino Lorber in June has reissued or issued the Blu-ray version of A Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So these are the 4K versions. I don't have the Blu-ray versions on hand, but they look like this. So you're getting the Blu-ray versions in June if you're not 4K capable. These were the 4K Blu-ray combo packs. They're also issuing The Great Train Robbery with Sir Sean Connery. You're best. Losers always whine about that best. I don't have that on hand either. Hopefully we'll be able to cover that in July or soon. So that's coming out in June as well. That's not here. I think we got everything else covered. Let's kick it off with Ronin. Actually, we got a Frankenheimer double feature here. So we got Ronin from 1998 and The Manchurian Candidate from 1962. Same director. John Frankenheimer, spanning the decades. So I adore this movie. This is like a murderer's row of tough guy movie actors. We got Robert De Niro, we've got Jean Reno, we got Stellan Skarsgård, who's now been absorbed into the Marvel Star Wars machine. He's an Andor, but he's great in this as well. Sean Bean, Jonathan Pryce. There's some Bond veterans in this cast, guys. It's a great movie. Fun fact, I've told this before on the channel. I'll tell it again. I took a date to see this movie in 1998 when it was in theaters, and she fell asleep. And at the time, it bothered me. I was like, how do you fall? If you've seen this movie, right? If you've seen this movie, you know it's like huge car chases, like some of the best car chases ever committed to film. And if you're like, yeah, but what about like Bullet? Or, you know, like they are incredible. They spent some serious money trashing cars. It's got to be seen to believe. And she fell asleep. And like it bothered me at the time. Rewatching it now with like much older eyes, I'm like, I should never have taken a date to see Ronin. This is not a date movie. Should have taken her to a nice romantic comedy or something. But I did. We had been at work that day too, I should say. We worked that day. We saw the movie after work one night. Maybe that was why. But it's a fairly loaded 4K Blu-ray combo pack. And I just love it. I love that movie. The Manchurian Candidate is, of course, an absolute classic with Sinatra, Janet Leigh, Lawrence Harvey. And, I mean, this one's loaded as well. Some of you guys are going to ask, I should mention 4K Ultra HD and a special features Blu-ray. So these are the special features included. Invariably, there's a debate if something has been issued on Blu-ray before, like if there's a Criterion Blu-ray for something, and Kino Lorber puts out a 4K, because they're doing it a lot now. Anything that Criterion hasn't put out on 4K from MGM, if Kino Lorber can do it, they do. People ask me, is it worth an upgrade? For me, the visual upgrade is important to me. And it's not like you're like, well, it's just a bare bones disc. It's not. It's loaded with special features. So you got to make that decision up yourself. I think a 4K upgrade on something shot on film is always worth it. That's my advice. But you got to do what works for you. This is this controversial? This is Prison Girls in 3D. This comes from the 3D Film Archive. I talked to the 3D Film Archive team about this several months back. They let us know it was coming. Here it is. It's an adult film from 1972 in 3D. They have given us the choice of anaglyph, polarized 3D, so true 3D, anaglyph 3D, or you can watch it in 2D. And it does have bonus features as well. It even includes, if you're not set up for it, it even includes a pair of 3D glasses that are branded with Kino Lorber and the 3D Film Archive. So that's really cool. You know, mine are still sealed because I've got 3D glasses everywhere. I mean, I've got a drawer full of 3D glasses that sits like I'm sitting on the couch. Here's the side table. It's just full of 3D glasses. So, but just I want everybody to be clear. It's not like, you know, oh, it's a little saucy. No, it's an adult film. there are words I'm not going to use because I don't want to lose my all ages. I don't want to get the extreme, the explicit tag. It's yeah, it is. So be advised. I'm just doing my due diligence to report the truth here. Bronson in The White Buffalo. This is a re-release of a Kino Lorber title that had already come out from Kino Lorber. This is a new transfer. This is a new, 2K? Brand new HD master from a 2K scan of the 35mm interpositive. They've got the commentary by Paul Talbot, who is the man when it comes to Bronson history. We do have alternate artwork. Another Western. This is Charlton Heston. Horses and people. Will Penny. A very different kind of movie for Charlton Heston that I like a lot. I don't want to editorialize too much. These videos need to be quick. I will tell you this. I have this on DVD, and because this Blu-ray's out now, I passed off my DVD to my dad, who also loves Westerns just as much as I do. Maybe more, which is hard to say, or hard to imagine, honestly, but he's been around longer, right? So he's seen more of them. This has a commentary by my friend C. Courtney Joyner, film historian Henry Park. They do great commentary work together when they're both huge Western fans. And Will Penny's script supervisor, Michael Priest. So you got those two guys talking with the script supervisor. Remembering Will Penny with Charlton Heston, featurette on Charlton Heston. Here, I'm just going to hold this up. I don't think this had alternate. No. This is a big one too. This is the Mr. Wong collection. Boris Karloff as an Asian character. Now, obviously, that doesn't fly today. So I'm really grateful that MGM has allowed this to be released in the first place. Maybe the fact that it got licensed to Kino Lorber. I don't want to read too much into it, right? Like, maybe they wanted to avoid some of the potential. Is there going to be potential backlash for movies from the 30s that, let's be honest, most younger people aren't even going to watch? So I don't know. I want to go down that rabbit hole, but I can't. We're going to keep this lean and mean. It's Karloff, man. I love Karloff, and I'm so happy that these movies are now on Blu-ray. They're from the 30s, 38, 39, and 40. There's no restoration work mentioned here, so I'm gathering this is just archival HD, like what was already in the vault. We have an audio commentary on the first movie by Tom Weaver and Larry Blameyer. And if you're curious, both the 5 movies are on 2 Blu-rays. They could have put them on 1 because they're only like 60-something minutes per movie, but I'm glad that they didn't do that. They spaced them out so everything gets to breathe and have maximum quality. Juggernaut, Richard Harris, and Omar Sharif. This doesn't have restoration notes either. I was wondering if this was a new scan. I don't think this had alternate artwork either. Yeah. We won't check all of these. I've already checked a lot of them to see if they had reversible artwork. Because when they do, I like to show you. Gorky Park, William Hurt, and the great Lee Marvin. I think he's a favorite for a lot of us. He's one of our great tough guy actors. But he was more than that. A lot of tough guy movies, but I think he was more than that. He was versatile. And Gorky. Every time I'm going to confess to you guys, Gorky Park. So I know this movie, right? But I always think of that song by the Scorpions. Down in Gorky Park, listening for the winds. Can I do that without YouTube's crazy algorithm coming at me? I think I can. We're talking about the Scorpions. You know that song. Gorky Park is referenced. This is a movie about Gorky Park. We did it. The Package, Gene Hackman. It's the director of The Fugitive, Under Siege, and Code of Silence, but this was before that. So it's got Tommy Lee Jones in it. So I guess, working with Tommy Lee Jones on this movie from 1989 was such a good experience that they worked together on The Fugitive, and the rest is history, because I want you to search every outhouse, hen house, all that stuff. This, again, no restoration notes mentioned here, so I'm gathering it's just whatever was already in the vault, but I'm just, happy to have it. Happy to see these movies getting into circulation. Without getting too deep into it, I just there's a moment right now happening with streaming. I am going to do a video about it. It's coming. I'm not anti-streaming. I subscribe to pretty much all of the streaming services, and I use them all the time. But streaming is not a substitute for ownership of films like this. And these movies, like like Duet for One with Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins, Alan Bates, and Max von Sydow. Like, these are impossible to find on streaming services. Streaming services seem to only want to serve... It seems like they're churning, right? They're like, hey, we made this show for you. You don't like this show? We're going to burn it away. We'll write it off as a tax write-off. We'll try something. We'll spend $150 million on something else. Maybe you'll like that too. They could be archives for studio-based art. You know, this is an MGM film. Again, MGM has a streaming service. I'm not sure if this is on it because I don't have the MGM streaming service. But I'd love to see streaming as a repository for all the archives for these studios. Like, hey, all the Warner Brothers movies are on Max. Some of them are, like 1%. I don't know. So this is great. These catalog releases at $15, $20, $25, we own them. And that's important. I don't need to own everything, but having access to the stuff that we care about. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but there's always one person who says something like, you know, I don't say, boy, that's a lot of clutter or something like that. You know, somebody told me in a comment today that they don't like physical media because of the FBI warning at the beginning of the disc. I'm like, what? Well, streaming, you have forced ads too. And you have, you know, like the screen that tells you what service you're watching. Like, do you hate that as well? I don't know. People, man. People. This is the last video on this channel. But the people, man. Just turn it off. All right. Duet for One. This has a commentary by Daniel Kramer. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce this because I will anger someone, so I'm not even going to try. By not pronouncing it, I've angered someone. This is a 2K restoration from Gaumont. I love Kino Lorber digging into that Gaumont deal. This is also part of the Gaumont deal, 2K restoration from Gaumont. Both starring Gerard Depardieu. While we're talking about Gerard Depardieu, could we please get The Man in the Iron Mask on... maybe a new Blu-ray, a 4K, something like that. That's an MGM film, isn't it? So it's possible. I love that movie. Hey, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like an A-lister, right? He's like as big gets. He's one of our modern movie stars. Where's Man in the Iron Mask on modern, you know, in the modern Blu-ray 4K sphere? Because Depardieu is in that as one of the Three Musketeers. It's like Three Musketeers later with a whole other story. Tales from the Gimli Hospital. Now, this has nothing to do with the dwarf from Lord of the Rings. This is a 1988 film set during a smallpox epidemic in the village of Gimli, Manitoba, near the turn of the century. It's a dreamlike, elliptical film which explores the jealousy. I'm just reading to you. I hate when I just read to you. But it's interesting because I haven't watched it yet. It's 64 minutes long. When you tell me a movie is elliptical, I'm like, interesting. That could go a few different ways. But it's got high praise on the back. Chicago Reader, Chicago Tribune, The Globe. So, have you seen Tales from the Gimli Hospital? I know some of you guys have seen this. Peter Greenaway, 2 films by Peter Greenaway. We have a Z and 2 Knots and The Fall. It also has some Peter Greenaway shorts. Over here, special features. This is BFI in association with Zeitgeist Films. This is also from Zeitgeist Films. Peter Greenaway, his masterpiece according to The Guardian, Time Out London, and The Independent. All 3 of those said it's his masterpiece. The Draftsman's Contract. And Roger Ebert says he's given it 4 stars. What we have here is a tantalizing puzzle wrapped in eroticism and presented with the utmost elegance. I've never seen a film quite like it. And again, we have deleted scenes, we have behind-the-scenes footage, and short films. So if you're a Peter Greenaway fan, this is your call. More Lubitsch from the Lubitsch collection. This is The Oyster Princes and Meyer from Berlin. One of the things I love about what Kino Lorber is doing, I love the studio classic stuff the most because that's what I'm most familiar with. That's what I've grown up with. That's what was on television when I was flipping through the channels on a Sunday afternoon. But the discovery of things like silent film and international film continue to propel me into my, further into my film fandom. And so the idea of seeing these, but both of these movies come from Germany, 1919. And they're both under an hour. But the restoration of silent film is something that I'm becoming more and more, do I want to say passionate about? It's really exciting to me because it's saving movie history. And you will probably reach a point in your movie fandom where you go, okay, I've seen a lot of this. I want to go explore. And for some people, exploration is movies from the 80s because you haven't seen them, or it's movies from the 70s. But at one point, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're going to be like, all right, I've seen a lot of this stuff. I want to see their silent film. You can go back to the beginning, and that's great. Rin Tin Tin, more silent movies. This is a Rin Tin Tin double feature, Clash of the Wolves and Where the North Begins. 4K restoration on Clash of the Wolves, 1925 and 1923. We got an audio commentary on Clash of the Wolves. I mean, this is exciting to me. I just dropped it. I'll pick it up later. Tommy Guns. This is a Angolan Portuguese film, or the director is Angolan Portuguese. Here, I'm not even going to attempt to read all this to you guys. I'll just let you freeze it and check it out for yourself. This is a horror-tinged nightmare that nods to the sprawling impact of colonialism across eras. Remarkable and audacious. Okay. The Severing by Mark Pellington. Mark Pellington is the guy behind the Mothman Prophecies, which I love. Chapstick. It's 2 words. Is chapstick 1 word or is it 2 words? Chapstick. Mothman Prophecies. Pellington's boldest and most audacious film to date, says Filmmaker Magazine. So I'm really excited about this one as well. I mean, honestly, there is more coming out than we can even keep up with. Hopefully you saw my interview with Ralph Tribby from DVD and Blu-ray Release Report, where he told us that physical media in 2023, it was last year it was like 14,000, then 2021 it was like 14,000 releases, 2022 15,000 releases, that 2023 we're on track for 30,000 releases. More releases than have ever been released in the history of the medium, even going back to the DVD heyday of 2005, more than that. So there's more than we can even get to. There's more than we can keep up with. But what a problem to have. It's not even a problem, but if it is, what a problem to have. We're having so much art thrust upon us, so many movies and shows thrust upon us that we can't keep up with it. I don't know how long this is going to last. Frank Tarzi, if you see my multiple interviews with Frank Tarzi, he's not sure how long it's going to last. We're just enjoying it. We are surfing that wave right now. That wave is cresting, and we are surfing it, enjoying it. Let's enjoy it. Millennium Mambo. This is a official selection of the Cannes Film Festival. Where is this from? Doesn't matter. Shouldn't be doing this on camera. Caliber 9. Now this is a DeLeo film. I've got my DeLeo box sets right here. I don't know if this is any different or if this is just being Caliber 9 is in volume 2. It looks, well, these aren't even numbered 1 or 2. Caliber 9 is in this box set. I don't know. Do we dare do this? Because it's the same label. It's Raro, however people say it. Oh no, this box just opened up on the bottom. The glue has dried and come away. All right, well, I'll fix that later. All right, Caliber 9 versus Caliber 9. I think it's audio commentary. You know what? I could just hold it up and let you decide. Let you read it. And we'll find out. Anyway, Caliber 9 is being issued by Raro, and you don't have to buy a pack to get it, so that's good. You know, one of the great crime directors, Italian crime director, Tarantino loves him. I'll put these away later. You Can Live Forever. Last month we talked about the complete first season of Wartime Girls. This is the complete second season. 13 episodes on 3 discs. This show comes from France, I believe. I believe it's a French. Let's see, Polish. It's a Polish show. And it's in Polish, German, English subtitles. Sublime, a film by Mariano Biasin. It's another one of those festivally kinds of movies. About the roller coaster of adolescence. Art film. This one's really interesting to me. I love these documentaries about areas that I'm not super familiar with. So this is essential viewing for anyone interested in the origins of video art, mass media, and the internet. A chronicle of the life and times of Nam June Paik, a pillar of the American avant-garde in the 20th century, widely regarded as the father of video art. He coined the phrase electronic superhighway and is arguably the most famous Korean artist in modern history. That sounds interesting. There's some more documentaries here too. This is not one of them. This is Concerned Citizen from, do I know where? Jerusalem. We have, guys, we have viewers in Jerusalem. We have viewers all over the world. If you're like, why would you talk about that? We got viewers all over the world. Which is why my last month, I think I referenced, I almost called something a foreign film. And I was like, no, I shouldn't say foreign film. I should say where it's from. Because the viewers from that place, it's not foreign to them, you know? So I'm trying to be better about that, to be the best. Try to be the best YouTuber I can be. And I'm not just a YouTuber, by the way. CerealAtMidnite.com. I'm constantly writing reviews, and follow the Letterboxd. I've put the links here. Hopefully you've seen all my links here. Blind Willow Sleeping Woman. This is a... What is this one from? French, I believe. Here, I'm just going to hold it up. Cinema Sabaya. And I'm saving this one for last because this is the one that I think might be just a good note to go out on. Film, The Living Record. Hold on. The Living Record of Our Memory. A documentary about the importance of moving images. So obviously I haven't watched it yet. It's still sealed. Got my hands full here. But why preserve film in a world where audiovisual materials seem so readily available online? That is the key question posed in this documentary. And that sounds really interesting to me because we're having this conversation every day now, especially with streaming services. Like, well, why have physical media? Why put something on a disc when it's all in the cloud? Why preserve film? Why does this stuff matter? So I'm really interested to talk about that. I'll probably write a review. Maybe I'll do a 1-minute review for that when it's all said and done. This is our complete June 2023 spotlight. July hopefully will be coming. You know, we're back on schedule. There was like a 2-month bump there. There was like a 2-month delay where I got a little bit off schedule. We are back on schedule now, and I'm so glad that you're here to talk about this stuff. I get excited about this. I know a lot of you guys do too. I hear from so many of you that say Kino Lorber is your favorite label because they're putting out so many different kinds of things. It's not just horror. It's not just, you know, classic movies. It's everything. I mean, look at the range of what we just talked about. From political thrillers to the Mr. Wong collection to, you know, silent cinema to Ronin. I mean, it's a great time. I say that every video. It's important for me that I express gratitude because I do feel grateful. This is a wonderful moment. As someone who's been buying my own movies for over 30 years, this is a wonderful moment in the history of home media, and I just want to enjoy it. So thanks to Kino Lorber. Thanks to you guys. Remember to subscribe so you never miss a video like this. Check out all the links below this video. You can find the review archive at CerealAtMidnite.com. Also, so many other things. Letterboxd, and there is a Patreon if you'd like to support this channel at a higher level, and there's exclusive videos for that. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.